Hershberger. I have the pleasure of moderating this panel today. I myself am a huge sci-fi enthusiast, so it's an honor to be up here on this panel with these ladies. And I know that you are here to hear them and see them, so we're just going to go down the row really quick. And ladies, please introduce yourselves, let people know where they might have seen you, and maybe share a little story about how you got to where you currently are in the industry.
Hi everyone, my name is Gigi Edgley. I am Chiara on Farscape and the host of the Jim Henson's Creature Shot Challenge. Love all of you guys. We're also appreciative of you because we wouldn't be sitting here right now unless it was for you. So thank you so much. I think we've all kind of met through. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be so big in that picture. We've all met, well, mostly through the Comic-Con world, and that's one thing I really love about these weekends is that we can forget about all the craziness going on in our own lives and then just enjoy these beautiful days with each other, dressing up, playing make-believe, seeing amazing comics, celebs, the whole shebang. So thank you so much for having me.
And Gigi, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the industry?
Well, when I was a little girl, I was very socially awkward, and I didn't really fit in anywhere.
I don't believe that for a second.
And I liked talking to unicorns and fairies and mermaids, and so my mum always said I was very special. And I guess I just never stopped dressing up and playing make-believe. That's the true and honest thing. But it was a safe space for me where I felt brave when I was, telling stories and dressing up as different characters and everything. So here I remain. And now I get paid for it.
Gigi, you're always special to us. Jackie?
Hello everyone, my name is Jackie Dallas. I am best known for my role in Stranger Things as Jen, Teacher's Girlfriend. I do a lot of... You guys have heard of the show? But I do a lot of other television. I was recently on Criminal Minds and NCIS New Orleans, The Resident on Fox. I do a lot of indie film work. That's actually where a lot of my passions lie and how I started acting in the first place. How did I fall into acting? Was that your question?
Yeah. How did you kind of get your foot in this industry in the very beginning?
By going against my parents' wishes.
Oh yeah. Hashtag relatable.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, I just kind of decided to quit my job and was like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to become an actor. And my parents are like, wait, what? You can do that?
Well, because tell them what you were doing before.
So, the reason they had this reaction was because I was a doctor before. So I left a very stable and responsible and secure job, a very respectable job. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go be a doctor. She's like, don't you know, can you make money doing that? I was like, Mom, happiness is not about money. That's what I tell myself every day. So that's how I got into it. I'm still going strong. And yeah, I've forgotten a lot of medicine, so please do not show me any of your rations. I don't know what they are. Next.
Hi, my name is Michele. Yeah, I know. I've seen several of them. My name is Michele Specht, and I was on the web series Star Trek Continues. That finished after that. There's so many Trek nerds. My character is here. You let me. Now I really just peed up here. I'm also in Star Trek Online in the roles of Loris and Krog, and hopefully another one soon, which is really fun. But I did a lot of sci-fi stuff. I did Fallout Nuke Break, which was a film, and then some web series based on the Fallout universe, and Aperture R&D, which was a web series based on the Portal video game universe. But I actually did start out legit, you guys. Okay, I studied classical vocal music performance and theater, and then studied abroad in London, and it looked like I might actually, make good and be reputable. And then I came out to Los Angeles and got into sketch comedy. My sketch comedy group was turned into a TV show. We had an original sitcom called I Hate My 30s, and then I did feature films, and, like with Harvey Keitel, and embarrassed myself so much. And then started doing this really fun sci-fi stuff. I like it the best because I'm already such a nerd, so people come, and want to talk about it, and I'm getting more excited than they are, and then they get scared of me, and they're like, it's okay. So, I'm just happy to be here.
So this is hi Wondercon. My name is Taryn O'Neill. I am not as well known as these amazing ladies in the sci-fi space, but I am an actress, a writer, and a new filmmaker. I have a sci-fi short called Live that I wrote, directed, and acted in, and produced. And I also co-founded Sirens, which is Screen Sirens for Science. We're a science advocacy and science and entertainment group. So I'm a big nerd, but I've actually acted in a ton of sci-fi web series back in the day when they first started, After Judgment, Hurtling Through Space with an Alarming Rate. They were all really fun, and I produced a couple of them. But getting started in the business, I actually worked in the business. I worked at William Morris when I first moved out to LA. I had a business degree, and my passion for the creative just took over, and I'm like, Mom and Dad have an econ degree, but I want to be an actor. And they're like, and that led to producing sci-fi because I wanted to take some control over my career, and then I started writing, and then I started directing, and now I'm here.
Yay! All right, now Taryn and Michele, I know that you touched on this a little bit already, but for everyone here on the panel, prior to delving into this world as your career, were you a sci-fi fan, or did kind of getting into sci-fi entertainment turn you on to this world, and are you currently a sci-fi fan? So anyone can take that.
Gigi.
I'm too scared to admit it, but I wasn't a sci-fi fan. I was in love with the Phantasmagorical, so the Never-Ending Story, and Dark Crystal, and Labyrinth. I was obsessed with the Dark Crystal. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched it. So it's so surreal that when the audition scene rocked up, I looked at it and I saw the Jim Henson logo, and I was like, my mind is like blowing. I called my mum, and for a large amount of my life I was brought up part on like a hippie commune, and Mum believes in aliens and creatures and all that jazz. And I called her up, I'm like, Mum, oh my God, I've got an audition, and it's for the Jim Henson Company. And she goes, oh, that's amazing, what do you have to do? And I said, I have to play an alien. And she goes, oh my God, you're gonna get it because you've grown up with aliens your whole life. And we got it, so something there.
Good mom.
And since that was my real introduction to sci-fi, and I've never really looked back. It's been amazing, and it's introduced me to all you guys, so I'm very appreciative of that.
Woohoo!
So I think a lot of my sci-fi influences was just because of my dad. My dad's a huge sci-fi fan. I remember back in the time of like the VHS tapes and the big laser discs. Remember that was a thing at some point in time? He thought that was going to take off, so he literally bought like cabinets worth of laser discs of like all of the Star Trek stuff, all of the Star Wars stuff, Aliens, Blade Runner, like all of the classics, right? So I grew up watching those probably before I should have been able to. I should have been allowed to. I had a lot of questions that went unanswered. But yeah, so I grew up with that, and I thought that was always really cool. And touching upon like women in sci-fi, I thought one of the cool things is that there are awesome female figures in sci-fi, and there always has been, right? So it's not this modern novel concept. Like I watched Aliens, I was like, dude, Sigourney Weaver is kicking ass, right? So yeah, I think I always kind of loved it and didn't realize there was a possibility of dabbling in this world until I became an actor, but I'm super glad that I fell into it.
Yeah.
I was a total Star Trek nerd before I even got involved, and I grew up on TNG. Anybody else? TNG babies? Yes! Saw it from the very first episode with the space octopus that come up from the planet. You have no idea what's going on. It's amazing. So yes, huge Star Trek nerd. I've seen every series, every episode of every series. Love them all for different reasons. Captain Janeway is amazeballs. Can we just say? I know. And I'm just going to put myself out there. That's my least sorry, Voyager is just, I'm sorry for, but she is amazing. Give me some coffee. I just love her. She's like, I want to see her do anything. Make a coffee. I just love her. So yeah, obviously we get introduced to women in positions of power very early on. And it's interesting because they were definitely the result of their time. The era in which the show was made, you see that very much reflected in the roles and discussions and kind of images of women that we see, which is also very fascinating. I just did a podcast with Women at Warp about Counselor Troy, like all about, it was amazing. So we were talking about her hair and her clothes, anyway. Long story short, I'm a total Star Trek nerd.
That's a good shirt. Star Trek excuse shirt right here. Good shirt.
We'll talk.
All right, Taryn. Well, I came later to sci-fi, though I realized that I actually did write a paper on Blade Runner in college. So, yeah, I was a film minor, and
my respect for you is just growing.
The symbolism of the eye. But I was more of a fantasy fan. I was a huge Buffy fan. I mean, obsessed with Buffy. I stalked Joss a little bit. I may have stalked him a Comic-Con once and made a fool of myself. Hi, our web series were up against each other. The stream music. No idea who you are. And you're a little drunk. Just kidding. Where was it going with that? Oh yeah, and also like Harry Potter and such. I loved strong female characters. Sydney Bristow was, hands down my favorite show. Alias was my favorite show when it was on. I didn't really get into sci-fi until I actually started I started working with this filmmaker who had this sci-fi web series when web series were new. And it was called After Judgment, and I was up in Vancouver at the time, and I was auditioning for some Battlestar, and I'm like, this stuff is cool. I didn't really think about using the lens of sci-fi as a way to really explore our current world and social issues. And I sort of started going down the rabbit hole, and so that's where my sci-fi love. And then I'm a big cyberpunk, so William Gibson, Neill Stevenson, those books, they really influence my work now too. So I'm a futurist, feminist futurist, so yeah.
Now, Taryn, you had just mentioned sci-fi as a great entry point to talk about social and cultural issues. In that way and in other ways, how have you felt work, because ladies, you do production, and you work in all different facets of the entertainment industry, producing, directing, acting. How do you feel that your other Hollywood genre work has differed from your sci-fi genre work, or doesn't it? Does it all kind of seem the same, or is there something specifically about sci-fi genre work that feels different?
I know for me, I've done a lot of sci-fi indie work, as well as the stuff I directed, and I think equally everybody is so passionate about creating those worlds. And so it's always been very gender balanced for all the projects that I've worked on, and everybody has been just equally passionate, whether it's the production designer or the cinematographer, like how are we going to shoot this, how are we going to light this, the costumer, everybody. And you have a lot more women involved. I've worked a lot of big budget commercials with directors like the Coen Brothers and Michael Bay, and those kind of shoots are very different. But, the women are hair and makeup usually, and that's it, and wardrobe, and yeah, it just has a completely different tenor to it. And I worked on a TV series in Utah for 3 years, and that was lovely, but it, again, didn't have the gender parity that a lot of the sci-fi indie stuff that I have was working on.
That's great to hear. Has anyone else noticed a difference between your other Hollywood genre work and your work in sci-fi?
I noticed that there was about 3.5 hours more paint put on my face.
Come to a 60s show, that was equally tough.
It was insane, and it was so cool too, because I'd never seen Basket before. I auditioned for it, and there was 8 rounds of auditions. I was just a babe, I was 22. So it was my first long-term, long-running show, and originally the character was just cast for 1 episode. And thankfully I snuck on board Moya for 5 years on top of that. But it was insane. It was really cool to play a creature that has no rules, has no boundaries. It's not a doctor or a nurse or a cop or a robber, or so often that's the kind of roles we're up for.
Yeah.
So when you can get to play a creature from outer space, I was like, yes!
I'm imagining little wee Gigi, 22 years old. And again, I'm going to come back to being a Star Trek fan, but I think it's kind of special being a Star Trek fan that automatically, even if you're a fan of the sci-fi genre, Star Trek is so singular because it has a message of hope for our future, which is very contrary to a number of other sci-fi endeavors. There's a lot of dystopia, there's a lot of, the future is a very scary place. Whereas in Star Trek, the future is an amazing place. Like we do right by ourselves. And Star Trek in and of itself, from the get-go, was addressing social and cultural issues of the time. Like basically just putting it in a costume and making it up in space, but putting it directly in your face. I mean, it's you can't miss them, right? So that show is already attracting people who are drawn to that kind of discussion, who are concerned about those kind of issues. So for me, that was elemental. Because Star Trek was elemental to my love of sci-fi, it was the first and still is the most prevalent. It was a formation of what sci-fi is to me. So it's hard, I can find enjoyment in other sci-fi genres that are just for entertainment. There's a lot of them out there. But I'm most attracted to things that are similar to Star Trek, that are going to be addressing these kind of issues, talking about them, showing them from different sides in an intelligent and well thought out manner. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I think one of my favorite things about the sci-fi genre is that there's no rule. Like if you think of a lot of the other genres, right? Like your comedies or your rom-coms or even your horrors, like they're still kind of constructed within this certain realm of like you have to follow the rules of reality in our present life and the present day, right? So there's these constructs that are already built in, but with sci-fi, it doesn't exist. So you can literally paint your own world, you can paint your own characters, you can do things that have never been done before and completely bypass these, like you said, like the social rules. You can go against it and just say, oh, it's an alien, it's acceptable now. You can really address anything that you want to do and tell any of your stories. Plus, tapping into what you said, we have a really loyal fan base. And I think that is so gratifying as a filmmaker, as a producer, as a director, as an actor, to have people come up and say, hey, I really like your work, which doesn't happen in all genres. I feel like a lot of comedies and indies and dramas, it's almost like they have all right, impress me, make me laugh, But for sci-fi, it's like, dude, it's cool, we love it.
Yeah, let's hear it for the sci-fi fans, right?
Love you, nerds.
Now, Taryn, you had said that you feel like kind of the gender equality issues that we talk about or hear about a lot in Hollywood are it's not quite so dire in the sci-fi world. So for all of our panelists, do you feel like there are an adequate amount of roles for women in sci-fi, both on and off screen?
I didn't say that.
Well, you said it's a little bit better, you feel like, than other